So we are going to talk about gut health, and I hope it'll feel a little bit like a party, and I hope I'm not too boring. But really, we'll start with why the heck I created this class in the first place, and who it is specifically for. I will share some of my journey, and boy, it's been a journey. We'll get right into what could be the real reason why you're having all this GI upset. And obviously the whole point of this is to help you start feeling better, right? Because a lot of people still are not, they could be under treatment, but they're still quite not feeling the way that they want to feel. And rounding that out, how to find the right people to help you, because that is also a huge piece of the puzzle. And I'll share at the end some resources. You can see I brought some stuff, and we'll talk about that, and we'll open it up for Q&A. So if you're watching this on the replay, and you do have questions, you can certainly reach out to me. I include all my contact information at the end, so feel free to email me, and I will do my best to answer your questions. So don't feel like you're going to miss out on the Q&A section. All right, so what is going on out there? We have right now millions of people who are walking around suffering from bloating, distension, and distension is the actual the physical part of it that you see, and the bloating is more like the feeling. So bloating, distension, abdominal pain, constipation, diarrhea, or sometimes it goes back and forth. And so they're visiting their doctor's offices, and they're saying, doc, what's going on here? And oftentimes they are sent for invasive and expensive testing, colonoscopy, endoscopy. We're lucky in Canada because that stuff is covered, but in other countries, people are paying out of pocket for that. And, and this takes a while, right? So this doesn't just happen overnight, but then they eventually typically get told, it looks like you have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And to get to that point, on average, it takes about 4 years, which is kind of scary, right? You're feeling that lousy, for all that time. And then it doesn't end there for a lot of people. They might be treated as such for IBS, or they're like, I don't really know if I feel that diagnosis. And so they still kind of jump around from practitioner to practitioner, still searching for answers. How the heck can I finally start to feel better, right? So that's kind of the situation right now. How bad is it? Well, apparently Canada's really getting hammered here. We have the highest rate of IBS in the world, 18%. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when I looked at, okay, well, what is our population and what does that actually work out to? It's about just over 7.5 million people just in Canada. Yes, exactly. So, it accounts for, what is this, a quarter to almost a half of GI referrals. That's to like a gastroenterologist. And it's not just, oh, I'm a little bloated, or, oh, I had a bit of diarrhea. It's like this is impacting people's lives, right? Like really impacting their lives. And working age people. So it is a financial burden, right? They can't go to work, or they're not functioning well at work. So there's that whole piece. And sadly, it is the truth that it does impact more women than men. And unfortunately, we have to acknowledge that there is still this gender bias out there. And a lot of times women's complaints and concerns get dismissed. And I talk to a lot of people about this, and I'm in a lot of forums. And I will tell you right now, I have stories that would make your hair